Hey, what's up everybody? This is Dr. Guyton, and what I wanted to talk about is one of the reasons that some of you will never ever reach the happy ending in your love story. And the reason is because you were caught in a previous chapter. So let's use chapter 2 of your life for example. Some of you are stuck in chapter 2 because you're afraid to move on to chapter 3. You're afraid to move on to chapter 3 because the person that you're currently with in chapter 2 of your life is a person that's not going to be in chapter 3 of your life, and you're afraid to turn the page. You're afraid to turn the page because you don't want to lose that person, even though that person treats you badly, even though your relationship or the situation, whatever it's called, because sometimes it's not a relationship, even though whatever you're in is not healthy, you really do not want to let it go, so you're afraid to turn the page to chapter 3. And what you fail to realize is that the climax of your story is really in chapter 4. Then that's that person that's waiting there for you saying, keep turning those pages, keep turning those pages. I'm here waiting for you. I'm the person that's going to sweep you off your feet, and we're going to make that happy ending. And the problem is, a lot of times we try to make the happy ending in chapter 2 when chapter 2 was never intended to be the happy ending. And so you have to be courageous enough to want to turn that page to chapter 3. Now, I did jump to chapter 4, and it's a reason, because chapter 3 is an opportunity for you to move on from chapter 2, and you have to heal. That's that moment of growth. That's that moment of development for you to a point where you are comfortable being single and you're comfortable without having that person in chapter 2 in your life. Once you get to that point and you flip from chapter 3 to chapter 4, that's when you're going to meet that person, that prince or that princess that's going to treat you the way you deserve to be treated. That's going to be this fruitful ending, this ending that you always desired to have. But you'll never make it to that ending if you stay stuck on chapter 2. And a lot of times we try to rewrite chapter 2. A lot of times we try to reread chapter 2 just to avoid going to chapter 3, because we know in chapter 3 this person is not going to be there. And you have to be courageous enough to go ahead and turn the pages. You may read chapter 1 and chapter 2 and say, you know what, man, I'm afraid to go into chapter 3 and chapter 4. But you have to be courageous enough to turn those pages, because you have a blessing waiting in those future chapters. And you have to believe there's a blessing waiting for you, because here's something I really want you to consider and think about. If the person in chapter 2 was the person for you, you would have no problems turning the chapter in the book, because you know that it will continuously get better. But if you feel that if you turn that chapter in, or that page, or to that next chapter, that person's not going to be there, 9 times out of 10, that means that person's not supposed to be there. If the person that's for you, you're going to want to turn those pages, because it's only going to get better. But right now, it's so bad that you're afraid to turn it, because you know that that person's not meant to be there. And you know they're going to be written out of your life story. So I encourage you to be courageous. The only way you're going to meet or reach healthy love is if you be courageous enough to go forth and believe that somebody is out there for you in a future chapter in your life. And I promise you're going to meet that person. You're going to have a great relationship, and you're going to be happy, and you're going to honestly forget about chapter 2 of your life, because you're going to realize that life is so much better in the future chapters. And then you're going to make it to the happy ending, which whatever, I don't know what that means for different people, different things, marriage, kids, family, I don't know, whatever the happy ending is for you. But right now, if you're in chapter 2 and it's not good, you got to turn the chapter. All right, I hope y'all have a good one.